let's get started here. Okay. I think I messed that up. Maybe you should restart it here. See if this works. Here we go. All right, so today we're going to talk about two different stocks that are trending right now, and the third one we're going to talk about something that I found super interesting and very exciting for me as far as to me as far as what Bitcoin has to offer for big companies and why I feel like a lot of companies are going to start jumping over and start accepting Bitcoin now that a big institutional player, Tesla, has jumped in and announced that they're going to start, that they bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and they're going to start accepting Bitcoin as payments. And so let's jump right in here. And so the first company I would like to talk about is this one. So let's pull this up. So Atlas Crest Investment Group. So this company yesterday was trading at $11 a share. Boom, jumped up to $15 a share. This is something I find pretty awesome. I'm always excited about this. You know, there's a lot of different companies that are starting to innovate a lot of different things because of the fact that EV has become such a big importance socially. I feel like there's a big social push as far as having electric vehicles on the road. This company here is pushing to put out an electric airplane that will be used as transportation. And so they recently made a deal with a SPAC company to be acquired, and they're going to merge. And there was a deal given where let's just read it here actually. So yesterday or today, Wednesday, there was a meeting about for the special purpose acquisition company announced a merger partner. It will combine Archer, an electric plane startup company, so that is also getting backing from some high profile potential partners. Prior to markets open on Wednesday, Archer and Atlas Crest announced their plans to combine and thus take Archer public. The overall deal is expected to provide $1.1 billion in gross proceeds to the post-merger company, including a fully committed $600 million placement from investors, including United Airlines. And so, essentially, two companies got together. They had a little bit of private funding as well from United Airlines, and they're looking to make an electric airplane that has the capability to carry passengers. And so this next part right here digs into that a little bit. Archer is developing an electric vertical takeoff, so kind of like this is shown here, like a helicopter plane that it says it will be capable of flying up to 4 passengers 60 miles. Now that doesn't seem too much right now, but obviously as time progresses, as technology changes, as things change, these things are going to definitely increase, and it looks like it could go at about 150 miles an hour. But yeah, I mean, 4 people 60 miles is no biggie. I think it's not that great. I mean, it's going to get you there fast. So if you're looking to you know, I don't know, if you're looking to do a quick travel, it might be like for shorter, you know, this technology might be for like shorter flights, not necessarily across the country currently. And so but yeah, I mean, this is step one right here. So I think it's pretty awesome what's going on here. And so, you know, it goes in a little bit deeper and talks about you know, the emissions thing, and how the airlines put out a lot of bad exhaust and things. That their carbon footprint is pretty bad, and so obviously the airlines are looking to improve that, especially with this big push with electric vehicles, like we all know. Socially, there's I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on these companies that have a pretty big carbon footprint, and so it's pretty exciting to see them, or at least one of the bigger ones, United Airlines, really looking to change that situation. And so there was something else that as I read through this, that I felt like was interesting. Let's see here. Maybe it wasn't this one. So yeah, I think this one is definitely one to take a look at. Like I said, you take a look at the stock here, and it's kind of just been over the last, since it started, it's just been a slow trend upwards, right? As far as what it's doing. So it's always been just hovering around $10, and I think right in here, people started seeing that things could change. Boom, jumped up to $14.50 today, and so during market open. And so this is all pretty exciting stuff. This merger, it's always super exciting to see, especially when you see a lot of money getting dumped into it by airlines and by by the merger there, to see some forward moving progress as far as removing the carbon footprint and having an electric short distance flights. And so those are pretty awesome things. The next thing I would like to go over, the next company, is Biopath Holdings. So today they blew up as well. So they've been trending about $5 a share. And on announcement of here, let's just get into the story here real fast. This one I actually did quite a bit of research on, because I wanted to understand why. I feel like a lot of these, there's a lot of like pharmaceutical companies, or healthcare industry companies. They blow up, and it happens a lot. There's a lot of different things that are I guess technologies that are changing and improving as far as medicine and things like that. And so it's hard to keep track of it and understand all of these things. So I did a little bit more research on this one, so that if it's something that you're interested in or would like to get more into, that I could at least like open that door for you to at least understanding what the company does before you decide to jump in and spend time on doing your research as far as purchasing these. And so let's take a look here real fast. Let me see here. Okay, so diving right into it. So what these guys did is sorry, I'm pulling up my chat. I forgot to pull up my chat for the stream tonight. Okay, here we go. It's all pulled up. All right, and so what Biopath Holdings has done here is they secured another patent on the technology that or not technology, but the research that they've done as far as how this drug is introduced to the system, and how it's improving delivery, and how it's reducing the amount of toxicity in the body compared to similar types of treatments. And so pretty awesome stuff. And so they secured another patent. So they were issued another patent. Here, I'll just read this. So a biotechnology company leveraging its proprietary de-enabilize liposomal delivery. And so liposomal delivery means like fat delivery. So in the fat cells, it's delivered through so lipo means fat, right? So it's delivered through the fat cells as an antisense technology to develop a portfolio of targeted nucleic acid cancer drugs. And so these guys fight cancer. And so it's pretty awesome that there's always some new innovation and new ways that these companies are finding to tweak different treatments to improve the quality of the patient's life and the treatment that they're going through. And so apparently this type of treatment, the way that it's delivered to the system through the fat cells, has, like I said, reduced the amount of toxicity in the level, or in compared to similar type treatments in the body. And so pretty exciting stuff to see them secure a second or another patent on the research that they've done. And so a little bit more about it. And so just so you understand about drug studies as well. So right here, it talks about that it's in phase 2. So they've gone through phase 1, gone through phase 2. They're entering phase 3 right now. And so there's 4 phases in drug studies. And so once it gets past the 4th one, it can be released to the public. People can start using the different treatments. And so there's still a couple more hurdles to get over, but this may be one that, if it's something that you're interested in, taking a deeper dive into it, I can leave all these links down below in the show notes so that you guys can read all this information and take a look at it and dig into it a little bit deeper than what I'm currently doing. And so this right here talks a little bit about the way that it's, like it says, like I had explained earlier, it's a gentler approach to treating and fighting the certain types of cancer. And so the cool thing about it is, let's just read it. And so biopath novel or de-enabilize is a biopath novel and patent method for introducing antisense DNA therapeutics for a broad spectrum of indications, including cancer. So like I said, mainly this drug mainly helps people with cancer in place of doing the more invasive things like chemotherapy and things like that. And so they dig into they essentially tweak it. And this is the interesting part right here. Let me make sure we can see it on the screen. So this is where they explain what it does. So the technology is different from other lipid-based delivered technologies. So it's still delivered through the fat cells, so all of the other treatments are positively charged lipids, and so which use positively charged lipids to form complexes between the lipids and the molecules of interest. Our neutral, so this is the key word here, neutral lipids form structures similar to the cellular membrane, allowing the antisense drug to incorporate within the hydrophobic bilayer and be delivered to the disease cells effectively. So essentially it's more effective because of the way that they charge the lipids. And so I am definitely not a chemist. I don't understand these things. I took chemistry at one point in my life, and so I feel like I should remember these things. But as far as what I understand, it or just to explain, like I'm 5 situation is they've created a drug that's easier to be absorbed into the cell, into the target or the cell of interest, or whatever they're targeting as far as fighting cancer. This type of treatment allows the treatment to absorb into the cell a lot better and be more effective. And so that's Biopath Holdings, ticker BPTH. Super interesting stuff. Definitely could be something that might be really good to get into early. Now the last one that I want to talk about here is Mastercard. And so this is super exciting stuff. I love seeing this. When Elon came out and said that his company is going to start accepting Bitcoin, and they bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, I instantly knew that a lot of big companies were going to jump in and get behind this movement, right, as far as cryptocurrencies. And so Mastercard released a statement today. Here it is, and we're like, as you see here, we're on Mastercard's website, so this is them saying it. So they start off by saying, whatever your opinions on cryptocurrencies are, the fact remains that these digital assets are becoming a more important part of payments in the world. We are seeing this fact play out on the Mastercard network, with people using cards to buy crypto assets, especially during Bitcoin's recent surge in value. We are also seeing users increasingly take advantage of crypto cards to access these assets and convert them to traditional currencies for spending. To be clear, this data is not of any individuals. It's anonymized, whatever that word is. You guys, you know what I'm saying? It's anonymous. And an aggregate, but the trend is unmistakable. We are preparing right now for the future of crypto and payments. And so what they go on to say is that they are going to, where is it? They're going to start allowing payments into their network. Well, not into their network. They basically are saying that you can pay your Mastercard bill with crypto. And so let's see here. Where was it? One of the important things that they talked about is right here. So we are already working hard to provide this consumer choice for cryptocurrencies. We team up with Wirex and BitPay last year to create crypto cards that allow people to transact using their cryptocurrencies. We added to those partnerships this year by joining forces with LVL and up-and-coming cryptocurrency exchange. These relationships with many other more planned down the pipeline build on our many years of crypto collaborations. And this is the interesting part. In all cases, these cryptocurrencies still don't move through our network. Our crypto partners convert the digital assets on their end to traditional currencies, then transmit the payment to Mastercard. And so I felt like that was kind of like interesting to clarify, or at least be sure to clarify that, like, if you have some Litecoin or some Bitcoin or one of the main, I think they called it, I've heard the term before, stable coins. If it is one of the stable coins, then most likely you'll be able to use that cryptocurrency as payment to pay off your Mastercard. And so so just wanted to clarify, or they left it in here to clarify that the cryptocurrency isn't going straight to Mastercard and going through their system. They're going through their cryptocurrency partner, and then the cryptocurrency partner converts it to fiat and pays your bill. And so a little bit of a pass off, but you're still getting you're still going to have the option to pay off your cards with your cryptocurrencies. Super exciting stuff for Mastercard. I think that's a very big move in the industry. Those are all pretty exciting things. And so and then the last thing I want to talk about is because I don't want my channel to be all stock picks and all investing. I want to talk more about finances in general. And so one of the things I was thinking about today as I was working on a project in my backyard, I'm a pretty big do-it-yourselfer person, and so I am running some gas line from we built this house. When we built this house, I stubbed out a gas line to the exterior so I can have like a gas line or a gas barbecue pit or gas barbecue on the outside of my house, and then also have I wanted to run a fire pit to my backyard. And so over the last couple of days, I've been digging a trench for that. Figuring out regulation and how deep I needed to dig the trench and everything for the pipe. And I, was thinking about what I was actually doing. as far as putting in a fire pit in my backyard, and I'm spending a bunch of money on it. But I want to talk about the financial aspect of me going through and putting a fire pit in my backyard. And so, or I guess like my mindset when it comes to the whole thing. And so if you had asked me like 6 years ago, hey, you know, let's go spend, you know, $600 to $800 to put a fire pit in your backyard, I would have thought you're crazy. I would have said, heck no. And so, you know, what I've done over this last year is, and I surprised my wife with this. She didn't even know I was doing it. So I would like randomly sell things out of my garage, or extra things that we didn't need, and I saved it all in an account that in my Venmo account. And it was kind of exciting to, at the end of the year, say, hey babe, look, I have $600. Let's do something fun for the family, right? And so, you know, not only am I debt free right now because of the choices I've made with my finances, but for me, I also set a budget, and I set a goal that I was going to save X amount of money, and we're going to do something fun with the family, right? And so it's kind of twofold here. You know, when you're debt free, you're able to do different things with your money. You're able to feel different freedoms that you don't normally feel when you have a ton of debt, and when you're you have your car payments, you have your student loans, and you have your credit cards, and whatever types of debt that you can have out there. You know, you have that in the back of your mind where it's like, hey, I want to go do something fun with this money, but I shouldn't, because I really should pay off my car, or I should pay off, you know, make some extra payments to my student loans, or you know, those different things. And so I just wanted to stress the how liberating it is to be debt free, and not just to be debt free, but also to budget my money in a way where I slowly save up my money so I can buy myself a big fun thing, and it's going to create a lot of good experiences with me and my kids and my wife. So we're going to be able to go out to the backyard and roast marshmallows, and you know, talk around the fire, and just have another area of my house where it's just a fun place to be, right? And so you know, we kind of went back and forth. Like, we wanted the thing I was looking to buy was one of those Coleman motorcycle things, or like little like, what is it? You'll see what it is. Yeah, this thing. So I was like, let's go buy one of these, because they're super fun. You know, put my kid on there and cruise around the neighborhood. I thought that would be pretty exciting and fun. But you know, we ended up deciding on this because of two different things, right? So, well, I guess the main one thing that I can one of them was because of like family experiences around the fire pit and a new place to hang out in my house. The second one was because it will increase the value of my home, and so it's an investment, and it's something that we're going to enjoy. And so, you know, we are changing our mindset on certain things that we're doing as far as how we use our assets as well. So it's not just hey, we have some extra money, let's go blow it anymore with my wife. It's, how are we going to put this money to work for us, right? And so whether or not it increases the value of the home as much as I put into it, that's not something I worry about. It's going to increase the value of the home a little bit, right? And so me going through the work of going and digging this big trench and doing all that stuff is definitely not a big deal for me to spend the time and to spend the money on it. And so, yeah, for me, like today I went out to the store and bought the pipe. The pipe was $170. Slid the card. Didn't even think about it. And then, you know, I get to, you know, I go back to my yard. I'm digging out the trench, and there's literally a rock that's like this long in my trench. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and bought a pick, one of the big steel picks. It's like 17 pounds. pick that thing out. That was like $45. And so today drops a good amount of cash on the project, but it was no big deal. I didn't think twice about it. I thought, hey, this is great, let's do it. And so I pulled the trigger on it. And so, but it's all because I planned and I was smart with my money. And so what I would like to stress about talking about this even in the first place is that I want you guys to know how liberating it is when you're debt free and you budget your money and you set your assets up in a way where they become investments. And so if you guys like any of this comment, or if you guys like any of this content, do me a huge favor, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, drop me a follow if you're on Twitch there. I appreciate everything you guys do for me, all the comments, all the feedback that you guys give. Drop me a subscribe on YouTube if you're there. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, or if you watch this tomorrow, rest of your day. Appreciate it much.